Yo, what's happening, everybody? I just got off a 10-day cruise called the Holistic Holiday at Sea, and I had such a good time, a very interesting time. So I wanted to share with you a few of the things that came to mind while I was there. One of the things definitely was that I was expecting this to be a huge vegan cruise. So it was all vegan food, it was all plant-based food. But the cruise was mainly just about health. It was about the health benefits of consuming a plant-based diet. And there are many, and that is important. But there was about 2,000 people on this cruise who had no idea about the ethics involved in consuming a plant-based diet and then taking it further to becoming vegan. So most people there were just there to learn about health, and they got that message. And I'm so grateful I was there, because for the first time in 15 years that cruise has been going, for the first time in 15 years they had animal rights message, a vegan message, an anti-speciesism message at this cruise. And the opportunities to speak about veganism were coming up all the time. I figured I'd just be sitting with a bunch of vegans, which is why I didn't really want to go there that much at first. I thought, okay, maybe I'll inspire some vegans to be active, but maybe there's a better way to use my time. But being on this cruise, on this plant-based cruise, every meal, people would sit next to me and they'd be like, yeah, I'm vegan, I've been vegan for this long. And then they'd start telling me because they got heart disease, or because they got bad pains in their body, or diabetes or something. So I'd always stop and I'd be like, hang on a sec, so are you vegan or are you plant-based? And they're like, vegan. I'm like, well, just because you've mentioned a lot about health, but veganism isn't about health. Veganism is about being against the violence and oppression happening to over 1 billion animals every single week. It's against the unnecessary exploitation of animals. That's what veganism is. It actually has nothing to do with your health. You can be vegan and eat it a million different ways, as long as you're not consuming any animal products. And a lot of people didn't get it, and they were like, oh, I guess I'm plant-based then. And I didn't want to say it in a way that, yeah, you're not vegan. It was just like, just making a distinction, because they're two very different things. Saying that you're vegan but not being in it for the animals means that you're not vegan. Veganism is about animals. That's what it is. Being on a plant-based diet is great for countless different health benefits, reducing your chances of many killers and living a longer life. But that has nothing to do with your stance on the oppression and the slaughterhouses and the killing of these innocent beings before they become people's food. And it's important, man. It's important to know, because at first I was thinking, well, whatever, all these people are on this cruise and they're gonna be eating plant-based, and that's epic. And of course I still think that, but I don't want the whole world to go plant-based and not know what veganism is. We can't just pretend that we're not murdering 1 billion sentient beings every single week. We can't just pretend that we haven't built slaughterhouses all over the world. We can't pretend that in our grocery stores, one section is just like a morgue, where they have the cut up pieces of body parts from animals who screamed in the last moments before they were murdered. We can't just all go plant-based and pretend that we haven't done this, because if we do that, it'll potentially recreate in another way. If we don't address our speciesism, that we have discriminated against certain species because for whatever reason we think they're less valuable than others, we have to realize that the root cause of all this problem is humans feeling superior. Sometimes it's humans feeling superior to other humans, and then different forms of discrimination happen, like racism and sexism. But we should address our speciesism, that we value their lives less than we value our own taste buds. And I don't want this to go past and be like, oh yeah, we all got on a plant-based diet, the world's on a plant-based diet. Cool. But don't forget about what we have done and are doing right now. Don't pretend that that isn't happening. Don't pretend that it's not a big deal, or that we can just go plant-based and not address that issue. We need to address the violence happening to countless beings every single second of every single day. So I had a really good opportunity on this cruise. Every person we got to sit next to on our table, we got to explain the difference between being on a plant-based diet and being a vegan. And, the job was already done for them. They're already eating a plant-based diet. People think that's the hard bit. Connecting the dots that we should respect their lives. Once you've already gone plant-based, that's even easier. But at the end of the day, that's what being vegan's about. It's about them. It's about their right to be respected. It's about their right to not be enslaved and used and abused and killed by us because we're the dominant species. It's about us extending our circle of compassion to embrace all beings, not just dogs and dolphins and cats. The second thing that happened on this cruise that was cool was I got to meet some very incredible people who have changed many, many lives. And I've met a few of the doctors before. I've done an interview with Dr. Clapper, which was amazing, and he's such a great guy. So is his wife. And I've said hi to a few others, but I was not expecting this to happen. When I got on it was right near the end of the cruise. It was like the last day, and I was in the elevator going down, and then T. Colin Campbell came in and stood in front of me. And I had never been near this guy before, and I got really it was really emotional for me actually, and I just shook his hand and I just said, with all the respect that I had, I'm so grateful for the work you've done. It's probably the most important work that could have been done, because what he did when he released the China study is prove to the world that we can be healthy and survive and thrive without the killing, without the murder. We can live, we can be happy, we can be healthy, healthier in fact, and no one needs to die for us. We don't need to murder for every meal or any meal. His work is so incredibly powerful, and I got to just I feel like he really understood how grateful I was for what he'd done. It was such an incredible opportunity. Actually, when I left I just shook his hand thank you so much for what you've done. It's been incredible. And then I walked off the elevator and I came back, and as it was closing, he was still on there, because I was just overwhelmed. And I just looked at him. I held the elevator. I'm like, you have saved so many humans' lives and so many animals' lives. And then, this is the crazy bit. In my last nearly 2 decades of life, since I was about 14, I reckon, I've cried about 5 times. And as soon as he left, I could feel myself starting to cry, getting that feeling that I very rarely felt in a very long time. And I was with Carly, and as the elevator closed, I just had a little, just a short, but a cry in her. I was so overwhelmed by how much suffering this man had ended, and it was just so inspiring. Such a good feeling to feel so overwhelmed by such a good human. Often I'm overwhelmed by all the negativity, but to be overwhelmed by positivity was just such a nice balance. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our vlog of Bali. We had a really fun time editing it. Carly did most of that, so if you thought it was good, that praise should go to her. We've got a vlog coming from Miami. We've got a vlog coming from the cruise I was just talking about, and we hope you enjoy them. So yeah, I hope you get a bit better now. The difference between plant-based diet and being a vegan. Vegan is not just about diet. It is about not using animals in any way for your own benefit. We don't test on them. We don't wear their skin. We don't visit places that enslave them like SeaWorld. And we definitely do not eat them or the things that come out of their bodies, because you wouldn't want to be killed for your body, and they want the same thing. They just want to be chilling with their family in the sun and loving life. So let's just give that to them. And if you're on a plant-based diet, take it next step. Make it a stance against oppression of the animals and go vegan. That's it for today. Peace.